Hey, I said I'd share something with you in terms of saving your work that you've done so far in the database. So here I'm going to run, this is the script provided for the company database, the one we've been working with. I'm going to execute this. So this will, as we know, drop the database and recreate it exactly. So I'm starting with a fresh copy as per the design as laid out in the script, right? There we go. So that's done. Okay, now if I wanted to get back to where I had been, what I could do is I could come in where I saved all the code that we just went through in our demo, okay, and I could execute it. And that should get me back so that I once again have got all my stored procedures in place and everything else, right? So let me come over here, just refresh the database. And sure enough, there are my tables. There's my view that we created, right? Under programmability, here are all my stored procedures, okay? My department list, my delete, insert, update, and so on and so forth, right? So they're all here. What if I wanted to actually save, because we have to run these scripts every time we sit down at a computer, what if I wanted to save a script that would get me right back where I've left off here? Well, I'll show you a trick for doing that. I've shown you before that you can right-click on objects here. One of the things that we have is not script database. You'd think that was it. No. Oh, sorry. I'm on the wrong spot. Hang on one second. Sorry about that. They just moved it in the menu on me from where I'm used to it. Under tasks, okay, you will find this, generate scripts. Okay, this is a very powerful wizard, so to speak. So I'll select generate scripts for database objects. So I click next. I want to script the entire database and all database objects. Okay? If you don't want everything, you can come in here and select and check off specific items, but I want everything. So I'll just click next, but I must click the advanced to make sure I get everything I really want. Okay, so I'll click advanced. And here you can come down here, there's true and false, right? One of the key things, types of data to script. Schema only will just create the tables with no data. But if I want the data that I have in there so far as part of it, as we normally do, I can click the drop down and select schema and data, okay? Do that, otherwise you get empty tables. One other thing that by default, see it says script triggers? By default, it's set to false in the wizard. Well, I haven't made any triggers today, right? But you're working on triggers as well. So if you want to make sure you include the triggers, make sure in the advanced scripting options here, you come in and set that to true as well. Okay, so those are the two key changes you probably want to make. Script your triggers and make sure you script both schema and data. All right, everything else you can pretty much leave alone in the advanced options. I'll click OK. And what I normally do is I put it out to a new query window, right? Click next, and next again, and it'll just take a few moments to go through, and there we go. Now we have a script that is set to run and create everything exactly the way we left it. The only thing is it's a little awkward here, right? Is, you know, see how it's going to create the database, but there's no code for what if it's there to drop it and recreate it, that kind of thing. Also, I mentioned this the other day, notice as well it's very literal. It includes every single option or default setting for the server and the databases on the server and so on. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here that, quite frankly, just clutters it up that we don't really need. So what I will normally do at this stage is I'll come down here to, we say, username company. I'm going to select everything above this and delete. I'm going to go back to the script we provided to you, right? Where it drops and recreates the database. Oh, I guess I was trying to give more screen space here, but I can't. There we are. So basically, this top section, right down to here, where we start to say, okay, we've created the database, we're going to switch to using it now, right? I'm going to copy this, come back to this new query, paste it in here. now I can save this. File, save this as, okay, and wherever I want to put it, give it a name, copy of company updated on such and such a date, whatever I want, right? And that gives me then this query that I could open up and run anytime I want, okay? And then it will drop and recreate the database and bring me right back to as I left it right now. Let me just run it to test and make sure I'm not lying. So it's going to drop the database, okay, and then recreate it and do everything. So if I come back over here, refresh the database itself, now I will not just have the tables, but there's my view, all my stored procedures are there and everything else, right? So I just want to share that as an option, okay? Now obviously there are times when you want to go back, okay, to the very initial scripts that we've given you, but this is something you can do yourself to save your work. It's easier than opening up the supplied script, running all of yours to create your triggers, then create your stored procedures and so on and so forth. This is a master script that brings you right back to where you left off. Anyway, thought that might be helpful, so I figured I'd share that with you as well.